India and China, two Asian giants, share a complex and multifaceted relationship. They are bound by history, geography, and culture, yet divided by strategic interests, political differences, and unresolved disputes. This intricate dynamic makes their relationship one of the most consequential in the 21st century. The future of Asia, and indeed the world, hinges on how these two nations navigate their differences and find common ground. As both countries continue to rise, their interactions will have profound implications for global stability and prosperity. Understanding the complexities of this relationship requires delving into its historical roots, analyzing current points of friction, and exploring the potential for future collaboration. Only then can we begin to grasp the delicate balance that defines the India-China equation. The shadow of the 1962 Sino-Indian War continues to loom large over bilateral relations between India and China. This brief but bitter conflict, sparked by border disputes, resulted in a humiliating defeat for India and left deep scars on the national psyche. The war not only affected the military but also had a profound impact on the political landscape of both nations. The war led to decades of mistrust and suspicion, hindering the development of a more amicable relationship. Diplomatic efforts were strained, and the memories of the conflict continued to influence the policies and attitudes of both countries. While diplomatic ties were eventually restored, the legacy of 1962 continues to shape perceptions and influence policy decisions in both countries. The war's aftermath saw numerous attempts at negotiation, but the deep-seated mistrust made progress slow and arduous. The unresolved border disputes, remnants of the 1962 conflict, remain a major obstacle to improved relations. These disputes have led to frequent skirmishes and standoffs, further complicating the relationship. Both countries have engaged in significant military buildup along the disputed Himalayan border, further escalating tensions and raising concerns of potential conflict. The presence of troops and military infrastructure in this region is a constant reminder of the fragile peace. The historical baggage of 1962 serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of the relationship and underscores the need for careful diplomacy and conflict resolution to prevent history from repeating itself. The lessons from the past highlight the importance of dialogue and mutual understanding in achieving lasting peace.
Despite political tensions, India and China share a significant economic partnership. China is India's largest trading partner, and bilateral trade has grown exponentially in recent years. India's burgeoning consumer market presents a lucrative opportunity for Chinese businesses, while China's manufacturing prowess provides access to affordable goods for Indian consumers. This economic interdependence has fostered a degree of pragmatism in the relationship.
However, this economic relationship is not without its challenges. India has a large trade deficit with China, and concerns remain about market access for Indian companies and the dumping of cheap Chinese goods. Addressing these imbalances and fostering greater economic symmetry will be crucial for building a more sustainable and mutually beneficial partnership.
Beyond the border disputes, a number of political issues contribute to the strained relationship between India and China. China's close ties with Pakistan, India's arch-rival, remain a major point of contention. India views China's support for Pakistan's military and its infrastructure projects in Pakistan-administered Kashmir with suspicion. Furthermore, China's growing influence in South Asia, particularly through its Belt and Road Initiative, is perceived as encroaching on India's traditional sphere of influence.
Both countries are also vying for influence on the global stage. India aspires to be a leading power and a permanent member of the UN Security Council, a position that China, as a current member, has yet to endorse. These competing geopolitical aspirations, coupled with historical mistrust, create a complex web of political friction that hinders the development of a more cooperative relationship. Section 5. The Himalayan Challenge, Border Disputes and Military Tensions.
The unresolved border disputes along the Himalayas remain one of the most volatile aspects of the India-China relationship. These disputes have historical roots and have been a source of tension for decades. The line of actual control, or LAC, which demarcates the disputed border, is poorly defined and subject to differing interpretations by both nations. This lack of clarity often leads to confusion and conflict.
This ambiguity has led to frequent standoffs, incursions, and military buildup on both sides. Each side seeks to assert its claims, leading to a precarious situation.
The 2020 Galwan Valley clash, the deadliest confrontation in decades, resulted in significant casualties and heightened tensions. It underscored the potential for these disputes to escalate into a larger conflict, with severe consequences for both nations.
Both countries have significantly enhanced their military infrastructure and troop presence along the LAC in recent years. This buildup includes new roads, airstrips, and other logistical support.
This militarization of the border has further heightened tensions and increased the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation. The presence of heavily armed troops in close proximity adds to the volatility. Resolving the border disputes is crucial for establishing lasting peace and stability in the region. Diplomatic efforts and confidence-building measures are essential.
However, finding a mutually acceptable solution will require political will, compromise, and a commitment to dialogue. Both nations must prioritize peaceful resolution to ensure a stable future. Section 6. Technological race, competition, and collaboration. The 21st century is witnessing a global race for technological supremacy, and both India and China are actively vying for leadership in this domain.
China, with its massive investments in research and development, has emerged as a technological powerhouse in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and renewable energy.
India, with its burgeoning IT sector and a large pool of skilled engineers, is also making significant strides in technological innovation. This competition, while fostering advancements, also creates a new arena for rivalry and mistrust.
However, there is also potential for collaboration. Both countries face common challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and cybersecurity. Cooperation in these areas could lead to mutually beneficial solutions and foster a more constructive relationship.
Section 7. The people factor, shifting perspectives. While political and strategic factors often dominate the discourse on India-China relations, the role of people-to-people contact should not be underestimated.
Growing tourism, cultural exchanges, and educational collaborations are fostering greater understanding and appreciation between the two societies. The younger generations in particular are less tethered to the historical baggage of the past and are more open to engaging with each other.
They are connected through social media, share common interests, and are increasingly collaborating in various fields. This growing people-to-people connectivity has the potential to bridge the trust deficit and reshape perceptions over time.
Encouraging these interactions and facilitating greater cultural exchange can play a vital role in building a more harmonious relationship.
Section 8. Towards a shared future, potential for cooperation. Despite the challenges, there are numerous areas where India and China can, and indeed must, cooperate for their mutual benefit and for the greater good of the region and the world. This cooperation is not just a possibility, but a necessity in today's interconnected global landscape.
Both countries are key players in international forums like the UN, where their voices carry significant weight in shaping global policies and decisions. They're also influential members of BRICS and the G20, where they can collaborate on economic and developmental issues that affect not just their own countries, but the entire world. They share common interests in combating terrorism, addressing climate change, and ensuring sustainable development for future generations. Additionally, both nations are committed to reforming global governance structures to make them more equitable and representative of the current global order.
Collaboration in these areas can not only yield tangible results but also foster a sense of shared responsibility and build trust between the two nations. This trust is crucial for long-term peace and stability in the region.
Furthermore, regional initiatives like the Bangladesh-China-India-Myanmar Economic Corridor offer significant opportunities for economic growth and connectivity. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization also provides a valuable platform for dialogue and cooperation on issues of shared concern, ranging from security to economic development. By leveraging these existing mechanisms and exploring new avenues for collaboration, India and China can begin to build a more cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship. This relationship has the potential to set a positive example for other nations and contribute to global peace and prosperity.
Section 9. Conclusion. A relationship in flux. The relationship between India and China is one of immense complexity and consequence. It is a relationship marked by historical baggage, strategic rivalry, and political mistrust, yet also characterized by growing economic interdependence and the potential for cooperation. Navigating this delicate balance will require both sides to exercise restraint, engage in dialogue, and seek common ground. While the future remains uncertain, the choices made today will determine whether these Asian giants will be rivals or partners in the 21st century. The world is watching closely, hoping that wisdom and pragmatism will prevail, paving the way for a more peaceful and prosperous future for both nations and the wider region.